A very good morning to one and all. So children, today we are going to study about the second mathematical important tool in physics, that is integration. Children, in the previous video we talked about the differentiation, right? And that is also a very important mathematical tool in the physics. Basically that is a part of the maths, but some part of it we are using in the physics also, right? So we are having very in a very summarized way about the differentiation and the integration, right? So children's integration means if you are just integrating something, that means integrate means adding something, right? So we are just making something big, right? So if we talk about integration in a very simple manner, so we can say that integration is directly an inverse process of the differentiation, right? So what we do in differentiation function is given to you, we find the derivative of that function, right? In integration what we do, in integration derivative is given to you and we have to find the function of that derivative, right? इंटीग्रेशन में आप क्या करते हैं, फंक्शन कैलकुलेट करते हैं, फंक्शन फाइंड आउट करते हैं, डेरिवेटिव ऑलरेडी गिवन होता है, और डिफरेंशिएशन में फंक्शन गिवन होता था, डेरिवेटिव आप कैलकुलेट करते थे, राइट? सो एंड वी कैन से is the process, it is the process, inverse process of the differentiation, and is the process of finding the function whose derivative is given. So I already told you about that. In a second manner, how will we know about the differentiation and what are the application or the uses of the differentiation? So we'll talk about that. So very first, if we talk about, if any of the graph is given to you, this is the x-axis, this is the y-axis, done, and this is the slope of the graph, and we have to calculate the area under that slope or that graph. Now, so simply what will we do? If the shape of the graph is a straight line in a particular shape, then simply what we do, we just calculate the area under that line or slope. Then that will gives us the value of the area under that graph, right? So if you are having the graph of shape like parallel line of the x-axis, and we have to calculate area under graph. So what will you do? You will just calculate the area of the rectangle and you will get the value of the area under graph, right? But this is the conditions when we are having a fixed shape graph. That means if you are having a straight line, then you will calculate the area under triangle. The area, with the help of the area of the triangle, you can calculate this area. With the help of this area of the rectangle, you can calculate the value of the area under that graph. But if you are having graph a shape like this, right, in a curve manner, or you can say like that, yeah? So how will we calculate the area under this curve? Yeah? So for this process, what we have to do, for this process what we generally do, this is the y-axis, this is the x-axis, then we just split whole the graph in a very small parts. When you split it out in a very small parts, then that will give you a definite shape. That means if we draw a strip, a very closed strip, yeah? So this small distance will be calculated as dx, and this value will be calculated as y1. Then, and if I say calculate the area of this strip under the graph, so what will you do? This strip is just like a similar to the shape of the rectangle. So if you calculate the area of the rectangle, so that will give you the value of the strip, right? So what will be give? Y1 into dx. This value will give you the area under strip. Likewise, if I split this whole graph in a very smallest splits, and finally, and we calculated the area of all strips, right? So the area of all strips, the sum of the area of all strips will gives us the total area under the curve. Done? But this is a very long process. Done? So for this process, what you have to do, you will just split out whole the curve in a very small part, then one by one you will just calculate the area under that curve, and finally you will just add them. Then suppose the first curve having this y1 dx, second curve having y2 dx, third strip having y3 dx, likewise up to the n. Then so if you're having many more basically area, many more additions, then we use the summation for that part only, and this will be yn dx. N, because this is changing y1 2 3 up to n, so we'll take the limit. N is starting from 0 to n is starting from 1 to suppose whatever is the number. Then suppose n, suppose 10, suppose 100 is there, suppose 10 strips are there, so we will write down here 10. Suppose 15 strips are there, so we'll write down 15 strips, right? But to reduce this process, what will we do? We will just integrate the terms. Then, so in the integration process, what will we do? If we are having, we have to calculate the area under this curve, so I just take only one small strip. अब एक प्रोसेस में आपने सारे स्टेप्स को कैलकुलेट किया, एरिया कैलकुलेट करा, बाद में सबको ऐड कर दिया. अब हम डिफरेंशियल इंटीग्रेशन के प्रोसेस से कैसे सॉल्व करेंगे? इन द प्रोसेस ऑफ द इंटीग्रेशन व्हाट विल वी डू? We will just take one only strip and we will just assume the area of this will be the very small distance, so we'll take it as the dx, and this will be suppose y distance. Now, so we'll take integration y dx. And the value of this curve from this point is equals to the 0, and this will be up to the n. And so we'll differentiate it between 0 to n. And if one time I'll just differentiate it, integrate it, and when we place the limits, then we will get the area under whole curve. Then अब क्या करेंगे? अगर मैं एक स्मॉल स्ट्रिप का एरिया कैलकुलेट करूं और उसे इंटीग्रेट कर दो विद इन द लिमिट्स, जो भी लिमिट उसकी गिवन होंगी, जो भी कर्व की लिमिट्स होंगी, तो वो ही एक सिंगल स्टेप हमें पूरे थ्रू आउट द कर्व का एरिया गिवन कर सकता है. अब हमें क्या करना है? उस पूरे एरिया को स्मॉल पार्ट्स में नहीं डिवाइड करना है, और हमें डायरेक्टली क्या करना है? एक स्मॉल सिंगल स्टेप कैलकुलेट करनी है, उसका एरिया कैलकुलेट करना है, और विद इन द लिमिट्स उसे इंटीग्रेट करना है, तो हमें पूरे कर्व का एरिया कैलकुलेट हो जाएगा. राइट? सो this integration process reduces our task, reduces our work. Right? So with the help of this process, we just add the very small quantities and we just get the bigger values. Right? So this is the thing why we are using this. Right? So easily this is the reason why we are using, why we are just doing the process of the integration. ये इसका रीजन है कि हम ये प्रोसेस ऑफ इंटीग्रेशन क्यों कर रहे हैं और कैसे कर रहे हैं. राइट? सो ये आपके पास हो गया. आपने देखा कि हमने, अगर हमारे पास वेरी फिक्स्ड शेप का ग्राफ है तो हम डायरेक्टली उसकी एरिया अंडर कैलकुलेट कर सकते हैं. बट इफ द शेप ऑफ द ग्राफ इज नॉट फिक्स्ड, right, this is about a curve line or any something else, so how will we calculate the area under curve? Right? So in a summarized way we can say this is just an inverse process of the differentiation, and in this process we just calculate the function whose derivative is given to you. We just calculate the function whose derivative is just given to you. Integration sign is always represented by a curve line. Integration sign is always represented by a curve line. Right? So we can write down it here, f x dx equals to fx. Then, so this is the function. Then, and this is the integral. This is the capital X. This is the capital X. Right? So this dx represent the derivative whose derivative is given to you. Then अगर आपके पास x का डेरिवेटिव है तो आपको x का फंक्शन कैलकुलेट करना है. इफ यू आर हैविंग द y डेरिवेटिव इज गिवन टू यू तो आपको y का फंक्शन कैलकुलेट करना है. इफ एनी t का डेरिवेटिव गिवन है देन आपको t का फंक्शन कैलकुलेट करना है. तो दिस dx वैल्यू रिप्रेजेंट द डेरिवेटिव टर्म. तो यहाँ पे dx क्या है? x का डेरिवेटिव है. तो हम क्या कैलकुलेट करेंगे यहाँ पे, x का फंक्शन कैलकुलेट करेंगे, है ना. मोर विल बी क्लियर टू you all whenever we are just implement this in our various functions, right? So for that we are having certain rules, certain theorems for the integration. So theorems or the rules, we can say very first rule is that if you are having, अगर आपके पास integration, if you are having integration dx, then and you have to calculate, now integration dx is given to you and you have to calculate the function of this given derivative. So what will be you do, if the rule says that if any derivative is given to you, so आपके पास जो dx होगा डेरिवेटिव है, ये किसका डेरिवेटिव है, x का डेरिवेटिव है, राइट. x का डेरिवेटिव है, दैट मीन्स फंक्शन कौन रहा होगा, x फंक्शन रहा होगा. तो हम इस इंटीग्रेशन के प्रोसेस से क्या कैलकुलेट कर रहे हैं, ये जो डेरिवेटिव गिवन है x का, इसका फंक्शन कैलकुलेट कर रहे हैं. तो फंक्शन क्या हो गया, x हो गया, x है. तो इसका इंटीग्रेशन कितना हो जाएगा, इंटीग्रेशन ऑफ dx विल बी इक्वल्स टू x. लाइकवाइज इफ यू आर हैविंग इंटीग्रेशन dt, so this will be can be written as, sometimes in some books their constant will be added to the right side, that is the integral constant. But in a very simple manner, if I told you, this is a very simple process we are just doing in the physics, that's why we will not talk about the integral constants. So we can just write out in a simple manner like t. Suppose integration dy is given to you, so what will be the integration of dy, this will be the y, because dy is the derivative of y, so y is the function, right. Now the second rule is that, second rule says that if we are having x to the power n dx, then now function is given to you, function is of the x and derivative is also of the x. So this rule says that if we are having any power of x, then so how will you calculate the derivative for that, x to the power n plus 1 and divided by n plus 1. This is very important rule or the theorem that we are using many more times, ना. तो आपको क्या करना है, अगर x का कोई पावर गिवन है और उसका हमें फंक्शन कैलकुलेट करना है ना, क्योंकि डेरिवेटिव आपके पास x का गिवन है, तो आपके पास जो वैल्यू होनी चाहिए वो भी x की होनी चाहिए ना. अगर सपोज यहाँ पे y टू दी पावर n होगी तो ये इस डेरिवेटिव के लिए कांस्टेंट का वर्क करेगा, तो उस टाइम पे आप उसका डिफरेंशियल इंटीग्रेशन नहीं करेंगे, राइट. तो जिसका डेरिवेटिव गिवन है वही, उसी का आपके पास वैल्यू यहाँ पे होना चाहिए. अगर x का डेरिवेटिव गिवन है तो x ही यहाँ पे होना चाहिए, y होगा इन केस देयर इज अ y, सो y विल बी ट्रीटेड एज द कांस्टेंट वैल्यू फॉर दिस इंटीग्रेशन. नाउ अगर आपके पास पावर में कोई रूल है, देन व्हाट विल यू डू, x टू दी पावर n प्लस 1, पावर में आप 1 ऐड करेंगे एंड डिवाइडेड बाय द टोटल पावर, और उसको डिवाइड कर देंगे टोटल पावर से ना. सो फॉर द एग्जांपल वी कैन से, for example we can say that if x to the power 2 dx is given to you, x to the power 2 dx is given to you and we have to calculate, we have to integrate this term. So what will be the integration of this? And second thing is that when one time you have applied the rule, then don't use this curved line sign. That ये curved line show करती है जब तक आप उसको integrate नहीं करते हो function को, right. One time if you integrate that function or that term, then this line will not apply at the integrated function ना. So integration x square dx, right. तो यहाँ पे आप रूल अप्लाई करेंगे, x 2 plus 1 power में मान and 2 plus 1 and divided by the total power, this will be x to the power 3 divided by 3, right. Suppose we are having x to the power minus 5 here with respect to, suppose we are having t to the power minus 5 dt. अब आप देखिए, अगर हमारे पास डेरिवेटिव यहाँ पे t का है तो आपके पास फंक्शन भी t का ही होगा. अगर यहाँ पे x होता तो उसके लिए क्या होता, एज अ कांस्टेंट होता, आप उसका इंटीग्रेशन नहीं कर सकते, राइट. सो कैसे इंटीग्रेट करेंगे, फिर से सेम रूल आप अप्लाई करेंगे. भाई पावर अगर ऐड है तो पावर में आप क्या करेंगे, 1 को ऐड कर देंगे और टोटल पावर से डिवाइड कर देंगे, -5 + 1 -5 + 1. सो जो इंटीग्रेटिंग टर्म की वैल्यू आ जाएगी वो कितनी आ जाएगी, t टू द पावर -4 डिवाइडेड बाय -4. Likewise you can just do the integration of any function, but you just have to remember one rule, that if you are just applying the power rule, so whenever you will just apply the power rule, so in a power 1 will be added and divided by the total power. आप उस power में 1 को add करेंगे और total power से divide कर देंगे. That's all. This is most commonly used theorem or rule for the integration. Most of the time you will use this rule. In maximum 90% of the functions you will use this rule. Right? Next thing is that third function is that if we are having x to the power minus x dx. अगर यहाँ पे x to the power -1 है ना. This rule is only for the -1 power, or you can write down this 1 upon x dx. Then 1 upon x dx, right? तो जब भी आपके पास if you are having -1 power of and you have to calculate the function of that derivative, so that will be directly log e to the base x. Then but अगर यहाँ पे minus, if there is -2 power, so you will have to apply this rule x to the power n. But if you are having only -1 power, so you will not apply this x to the power n rule. For that we are having, if x to the power -1 rule is there, so this will be log e to the base x. Then so for the both we are having the same value likewise, right? 1 upon x, or you can write down x to the power n. So this log rule will be implemented for only whenever we are having -1 power or 1 power, -1 power of the given derivative with which we have to, with the respect of which we have to integrate that function, right? This is the third rule. Then now we will talk about the next rule. Next rule is of the rule number 4. Rule number 4 is integration of sine x dx, right? So integration of sine x dx is directly minus cos x, right? So there is no theory about that. Directly we are having the rule, if we have to integrate sine function, so directly the integration of that sine function will be minus cos x. Then next rule is of the integration cos x dx. Then so integration of cos x dx will be equals to the sine x only. Then so with the help of these 4 to 5 rules, we will just use these 4 to 5 theorems in our physics most commonly used, and 1 or 2 are the not regular rules. So whenever we are having just numericals, just question related to them, so we'll just solve those theorems or the rules whenever we are just having some numericals related to it. But most commonly rules for the integration are these 5. Then integration of dx will be x, second x to the power n rule, second x to the power minus n rule, -1 rule, sin x and cos x. Done. Now we'll just solve one numerical. Done. Done. So one example we are just taking for that. If we are having the function like x to the power 3 plus 2x plus 5, and we have to integrate that function. So how will you do the integration of that function? Just see very carefully. Whenever we are having the function and having more than one term, so very first you will just split out this derivative and this integration sign with the each of the term. आप सबसे पहले क्या करेंगे, अगर आपके पास जो फंक्शन गिवन है उसमें 1 से ज़्यादा टर्म है, तो आप इस डेरिवेटिव को और इस इंटीग्रेशन के साइन को आप क्या करेंगे, हर एक टर्म के साथ इंडिविजुअली स्प्लिट करेंगे. इंटीग्रेशन x क्यूब dx प्लस इंटीग्रेशन 2x dx प्लस इंटीग्रेशन 5 dx, right? Now we will just apply the rule. Very first we have to apply the rule of the x to the power n. So we'll just have x to the power 3 plus 1 and divided by the total power, right? If one time you just applied the rule of the integration, so you will not use this derivative because we have already calculated the function of this derivative, and you will just not apply this curve line sign, right? Plus now this 2x dx. Now what happens? We are having x to the power 1 power, not -1 power. So we'll apply the rule of the x to the power n, not log x rule, right? And this 2 is constant for this derivative. So this will be out from the derivative term. And x to the power n, 1 is already given to you. So in a power we will add 1 and divide it by the total power, right? Now plus 5 is constant for, because we cannot do the integration of this constant value. So this will be out from the differentiating term, and integration of dx. Now according to the very first rule, what will be the integration of dx? That will be x only. So we can write down x to the power 4 divided by 4 plus 2 x to the power 2 plus 5, and integration of dx will be x, right? So this 2 will be cancelled out, and you will finally have x to the power 4 divided by 4 plus x square plus 5x, and this will be your answer. And this will be the function of the derivative given to you. Done? So with the help of this question, you can understand Maxim rule are including in this particular numerical. So with the help of this numerical, you can just write down many more function and can just apply the rule of the integration. Right, children? Now, at the last, we'll talk about, this is a simple integration, or this is called the indefinite integration. When the limits of the integration is not given to you. Then आपके पास कोई भी limits given नहीं है, only the sign is given to you. This is the type of the indefinite integration. Then now we are having the definite integration, or the limiting integration, in which limits are given to you. Then in which limits are given to you. So we'll talk about the definite integral. Definite integral में आपके पास क्या होता है? Definite integral, this is the function like fx dx, but the limits are given to you a to b. This a is called the lower limit, and this b is called the upper limit. Then, so this, when the limits of the function is given to you, so that is in the category of the limiting integration. So that is in the category of the limiting or the definite integral, right? So now, if limits are given to you, so how will we apply the rules? So rule says that, with the help of one example, we will just understand that what is the rule. So for the definite integral, how will we just apply? With the help of one example, we will just understand, if a function is given to you x square plus 2x, right? And the limits are given to you 1 to 3. That means here x is starting from the 1 and ends to the x equals to 3, right? And you have to just integrate that function, but this is not the indefinite integration. This is the definite integration, because the limits are given to you. So how will we apply? The rules are same, but at the last step, what will we do? We will just place the limits at the final answer, right? And then that's all. So what will we do very first? Very first, the rule says that we will split this dx and this integration sign with each of the term, like x, this can be written as 1 to 3 x square dx plus integration 1 to 3 2x dx. Then now here we just have to apply the rule of the x to the power n. So according to the rule, power will be added and divided by the total power, and the limits will be 1 to 3 plus 2 will be constant, so we'll not do the integration for that. X to the power 1, so 1 will be added in the power and divided by the total power, and this limit will be 1 to 3, right? Now here we can write down x to the power 3 divided by 3, 1 to 3, and this can be written as 2x square by 2, limit up to 1 to 3. Now how will you place the limit? So very first, these are the limits of the x. So in place of x, you have to place the limits one by one. ये जो limits हैं, ये x की ही limits हैं, तो आपको क्या करना है? इस x के place पे one by one ये limits place करनी है. तो rules, according to the rule, firstly you have to place the upper limit, and then you will place the lower limit, and between upper limit and the lower limit, whenever you are placing the value, there will be a minus sign. So we can write down, in place of x, we will write down 3 power 3 divided by 3 minus, upper limit is placed, now we will place the lower limit, but in between there will be a minus sign, 1 at place of 3 x, so this will be like this, plus 2 in place of you will place 3 power 2 divided by 2 minus, in place of x you will place the lower limit, this will be square by 2. Then now you can just integrate that function, you can just solve this function. So this will be 3 into 3 into 3 divided by 3 minus 1 upon 3 minus 2, 9 by 2 minus 1 by 2. Then, so we will just take the LCM here. So 3, 27 minus 1 minus, plus, this will be plus, this is the original sign, 9 minus 1, 8 by 2, 2 4 ja 8, and likewise this will be 26 by 3 plus, you will have 8, and you can just add those values and you will get the answer. Right? One more question we are just doing here for the limiting integration. One more numerical is there. With the help of these two numericals, you can just understand the rule very clearly. Similarly, if we are having the another function, like any function, you can just take 0 to 3. 0 to 2 we are having the limit, and function is x to the power minus 5 plus 4x plus 2. Right? So if you are having this question, so very first rule says that we'll just split this sign and this sign with the each of the term. So we will just write down here and we have to calculate the value of that. Right? So x to the power minus 5 within the limit 0 to 2 dx plus 0 to 2 4x dx plus 0 to 2 2 dx. Right? Now next what will we do? We'll just apply the rule. Here we have to apply the rule of the x to the power n. So minus 5 plus 1 and divided by minus 5 plus n within the limit 0 to 2 plus 4 will be constant. So this will be out from the integrating term and you will have x to the power n. So 1 will be added and divided by the total power 2. Right? And this is the constant. So integration of dx will be only x. So this can be written as 0 to 2. Done? Now you just solve this function x to the power minus 4 divided by minus 4 within the limit 0 to 2 plus 4 x to the power 2 divided by 2 within the limit 0 to 2 plus this will be 2 x to the power 0 to 2. Done? This is our second last final step. Now finally what will we do? We will place the upper and the lower limit in the function. So what will you do? At place of x, very first we will place the upper limit, that is 2. So 2 to the power minus 4 divided by minus 4 minus, at place of x you will place 0. 0 to the power minus 4 divided by minus 4. This will be clear. Very first function. Now the second function, 4 will be constant as it is. In place of x, very first you will place the upper limit. So 2 to the power 2 divided by 2. In place of x you will place the 0 power 2. Right? And at last what will you do? At place of x you will place 2 minus lower limit, that is 0. And finally whenever you will just solve this numerical term, then you will get your final answer. Done, children? So only 3 things, 4 to 5 rules, and limiting integration is the important part from the second mathematical rule, that is the integration, children. You can just solve many more numericals, those are related to the different theorems of the integration, so that will make you more comfortable and more clear to you about the different rule and the theorems of the integration. Right, children? So that's all for today. Thank you.